What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Burt Byler and Chucky D back at the Americando, ladies and gentlemen. We have a small night planned, not a big deal. How you doing, Chucky D?
Man, I've got I have some questions. I got my questions ready.
We're a little nervous. We haven't had heroes on the channel here a lot. I just talk to Chucky D and y'all all the time, so this is a little small step up.
He said no heroes. You just called my name.
Small step up. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We're going to get straight into it. I see so many people in the chat. Everybody, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. I think tonight's going to be a special night. I can't wait to get just straight into it. And I feel like this man doesn't need much of an introduction. Do you want to say, do we just want to?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Arlo McKinley. What up, dude?
What is up, fellas?
Man, where are you coming to us from right now?
Cincinnati, my bedroom.
Awesome.
Man, thank you so much for doing this, man. I'm going to try to not fanboy as much as possible. I was trying to ask like we were talking earlier, like why in the hell is Arlo McKinley coming to hang out with us?
Puzzle.
And we couldn't come up with any reason except for we found out that Mr. Sean Chambers himself came to one of your concerts.
Mm-hmm.
We love Sean here, and I just want to know, how much did he pay you to come on this thing?
I suspect bribery.
What did he do?
Man, if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Oh! Who's the villain now, y'all? Who's the villain now?
But man, I know I got a lot Sorry, go ahead.
I enjoy what you guys do, man. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what you guys do.
Thank you.
I was happy when I heard that I had the chance to come on with you guys and talk for a little bit. I was very much into it. And I was taking a break from doing these kind of things for a bit. And this sounded like this was a good one to kind of come back to.
Awesome, man, dude. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. So we're gonna get straight into it now.
Yeah, I think the fair thing to say is we have no idea what we're doing. First interview.
Yeah,
no idea what we're doing, so we're gonna jump in with both feet.
Yeah,
so
let's
hold on to your butts.
Let's get right into it. So
that's the way to do it.
Whenever I listened to The Hurtin's Done for the first time, it was like the last straw that encouraged me to go get help. And so I jokingly tweeted you and said, Arlo is my therapist. He doesn't know it yet. But the truth of the matter is that a song that you wrote really kind of like pushed me over the edge to where a songwriter like yourself, who I really respect, is talking about these things. And it kind of like gave me permission to take that step. Now, the therapist hadn't called me back. That's a whole different story.
Call another therapist.
I'm going to call another therapist. So I just wanted to ask, like, how does it feel, or do you feel like a therapist in some way with some of the songs that you're writing for folks?
At the beginning, I didn't, and I still don't necessarily, but I was just having this conversation with my girlfriend about how these songs have just turned into just something completely different than I thought they'd ever be. Like, you're definitely not the first that's said these kind of things. I get emails and letters and this and that about stuff all the time about how something that, one of my songs has helped them get through something, or just certain things like that. And it's now kind of what keeps me playing music is knowing that just something that I'm doing that I love to do is having that kind of effect on people. So it's probably the biggest compliment that I could get. And it's, yeah, it was crazy the first few times, and it still is crazy. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, but it's a it's a good feeling just to know that, I'm singing about my life and that other people can relate to it in some way.
Yeah, and I think that your songwriting style is, and you've mentioned it in previous interviews that you've done, to where you feel like you're a very direct songwriter, right? Where you tell your truth, and what you've said is maybe like a less metaphorical way, but in a very straight up way. And that's what hit me like a ton of bricks. Who are some of your favorite straight up songwriters that get straight to it? I don't know if that makes any sense.
I know it makes sense for sure. John Prine for sure is at the top of that list, and also want to say October 10th would have just been his birthday, so rest in peace to the boss. And when it comes to songwriting, I was a big fan of Whiskey Town, Ryan Adams, songwriter that I enjoy a lot. One of my good friends, Jeremy Pinnell, is another one of those guys. I just like people who, and Blaze Foley, Guy Clark, stuff like that. Just people who aren't necessarily, they're storytellers, but I think in those songs you're just hearing them tell their experience. I know I had a talk with Tyler Childers once, and he said something just about, all we can do is write about the human condition and hope that people connect to it. And that's just something that kind of always stuck with me. And but yeah, it's stuff like that. John's up there though.
Absolutely. No doubt.
When it comes to songwriting, because he made it seem so easy with just through words out there, and it just wasn't technical with it. Mm-hmm. Kept it like the same 3 chords, just moving the capo around, and it just, I don't know, just said what was on his mind, and I just kind of try to follow that little template, I think.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna get as weird as I can possibly get every opportunity I'm given.
Let's do it.
You know me for 15 minutes now, so you should know that. I would like to talk about like specific mental health stuff. You had an interview where you talked about relying at some point on self-medication to deal with anxiety issues. And then you said, and I quote, you just have to face the actual matter of, okay, this is a thing. It's a condition. You want to talk to us a little bit about what you were experiencing?
Yeah. It's just, I think at that time, especially what I was talking about, I think it was just the opiate epidemic just kind of came through like with no warning, and I was just seeing firsthand it take friends from me, affect my family, and stuff like that, and it was just hard. And then I get caught up in it, and I don't know, you don't know, when you haven't really had experience with that kind of stuff, you don't know how it's really going to take complete control of everything. So then you just sort of kind of start relying on these things to get you through every little problem that you have. And it just becomes a whole nother thing. You're no longer doing these things for the fun feeling of being high or whatever. Now you're doing it to really just get out of bed and face the day and face your friends and face people and any issues that you have. So, I went through that. I would be a liar if I sat here a day and said that I'm completely sober and stuff like that. It's, I think I'll be, a drug addict for my entire life, whatever. I'll just put it bluntly, but it's a work in progress. It's stuff that you just have to get control of. And I think acknowledging it is the first step to really leaving it behind and moving forward from it.
Right.
So, but I don't know. I think just creating a dialogue on it, about it, and not making people feel ashamed about it or anything like that. I think that's the first step to it. Really, is I think people that haven't experienced it don't really understand what it is to be dealing with it. It starts off as a choice, correct, and 100% we all do that on our own free will, but it turns into much more than that. And it's one day at a time.
Right. Man,
I guess.
I think that we talk a lot here about, I used to use the concept of manning up and dealing with your feelings. And then our channel got raided by all these badass ladies, and they're in here talking just as tough as the dudes are and sharing their shit just like everybody else. And I feel like manning up is no longer the appropriate statement, perhaps. I think it's I don't know. I think muscle up maybe is what we should say instead. But it's people in here are willing to really share with us what they're going through. I know you've experienced that some as well. But we also talk a lot about what our responsibility is as people who are going through things. And we talk about, looking for help and stuff. But you've talked a lot about realizing that this was something you were going through, and you've talked about having to do the work there. Once you've admitted what's going on, having to put in the work to being healthy, having to put in the work to decide to be full-time, 100% musician, 100% committed. Just kind of in specific terms, as much as what you've experienced personally, as you want to tell us, what's the work been like for you dealing with these issues that we just talked about? How's it tied into your professional life?
It's hard. This isn't the ideal profession to be in when you're trying to get I don't know, when you're just trying to live and get past this stuff, because not everyone, but there's so many people that just want a story. So many people want to come out to the show and go home with an Arlo story, whatever that is. And what is crazy for me, and not even crazy, but I mean, I have enough stories that I don't need anymore. I'm good with it. And it wasn't until, and so it's kind of different. It's kind of weird because it is hard to go and do the work, but it wasn't until people got into my life that really pushed my career and got behind me. That's really when I had people that I didn't want to let down, and that's what it was. Old Boy and Jody, who runs Old Boy, and then my managers and stuff like that. I don't, they're taking the time. They believe in what I'm doing. So, that is what sits in my mind now. Is there are people invested in what I do, and not just with money, but just with their time and with their friendships. And we've built close relationships. I'm really good friends with everyone at Old Boy, all my agent, my managers, everyone that I work with, I'm very close with. And the last thing I want to do is let them down. But being on the road, it's one of those things that, it's where that's where you have to just have the, I don't know, just the strength and the courage really just to walk away from those situations and not be so accessible to it. Just touring alone, being out I'm about to go out for 2 months, and that alone is going to drain me. And you add crazy party nights on that. I mean, think Robbie Robertson said it best in The Last Waltz. It's almost a goddamn impossible way of life,
Yeah.
and it really is. It's you can't go out and do that every night, playing and traveling and all that, and adding all that other stuff with it. So, but back to the original thing, it's really just the people who took the time out to show me that I had more to offer to the world, I think.
Oh yeah, we think you got something to offer to the world now. Yes, you do. So
Can I just interrupt?
Yeah,
What's
go
the
ahead.
worst thing and we know this because we both been through it. You got to know this. The worst thing is that you give up drinking, right? And then this rich motherfucker is at the bar that night, just wants to give you 50 Jaeger bombs.
Oh, it's still, we don't even, being a musician, you don't have to pay for
Yeah.
anything. You really, and you
Anything.
definitely don't have to
And
pay
people
for
still bring you
anything, right?
drinks.
And you definitely don't have to pay for alcohol. We won't even ask for it, and we'll be on stage, and next thing I know, someone's bringing a tray of
Oh, man.
shots up.
yeah,
And,
it's impossible
and-
to get away from.
Yeah. They don't realize that it's
It
only
is, and you just have
Saturday for them.
yeah, you just have to have some control over it, and just kind of, yeah, that's really it. It's really just being faced with having to like take control of it, or I don't know. I just don't. Especially the further that I go on with music, the more that I see the people that I look up to and the musicians that I look to, they're not getting like wasted every night. They're not like doing, I want it to be a fun job. It's a fun job. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do, and all of that stuff is a part of it. But there's just a fine line in it.
Do you
There's
have-
gotta, yeah, but yeah, that's like what you said. I mean, people just, and it's the story thing. People want that story. People want to be like, I drank 30 shots with Arlo at the bar the other night, and he goes home and his life's fine. And then the next day, I'm on the phone with people like, what the fuck did you do last night?
Yeah.
So it's just, it could be bad.
You got people that you call when it gets tough to make that decision?
Yeah. Well, I have people that I know I can.
Mhm.
I've really had to kind of make my circle a little smaller now, and it's just, I think I have the best people around me. All the relationships that I have, the friendships that I have, the team of people that I have, I think are all there. And the label, oh boy, I know that I could call them for anything, and especially after Diamond Western, like pre-Diamond Western was kind of craziness, and even a little bit after, but after that is when I really started to like realize that, there are people who really do, they want to see me do well, and it's important to them. So it was just a kind of a new feeling to me. So
Yeah. All right. So changing gears a little bit, on one of the interviews that you did, you talked about how whenever John Prine came to your concert and then gave you a compliment, that it was success for you, right? I think you said that if it all ended tomorrow, you considered that to be like a huge highlight in your life, which for anybody, that would be like the
pretty good
peak,
day.
right? So that was years ago. What is success for you now? What are you considering to be like the peak for you?
I think that'll always be the peak of it, and now it's just continuing playing, just being able to. This is now my job. It's my full-time job. That's crazy for me to sit here and say, to even be on this like show with you guys is absolutely crazy to me. The fact that people are interested.
It's crazier to us. I promise you.
I totally saw
way
this coming.
crazier.
man.
I've been predicting this
I don't
since my
know.
second
I
episode.
could for people who really know me, I think they could vouch for it, that this stuff is just, I mean, I've always just played music for fun and for my own just because I like to do it, and I just ended up in some right places at some right times, and all that. But the John thing will always be, I think, the 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 success that can, it really could end, and that's good enough for me. But now it's a job. It's a job that I enjoy, and now it's the things away from music that are success. It's you know, it's the future that I look forward to now. And being around and just spending time with the people that I love, and and just being. I don't know, musically, that I don't think anything will ever really even come close to comparing to that. I don't know, but it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I can't really think of anything else that would be
It's hard to beat that.
anything
It's
even
hard to
close
beat
to
that
that.
now.
It is. I mean, and that situation was crazy. I mean, coming out on a Thursday night in Nashville, where I know he had to leave like through the middle of the set, but just for him to take that time to come and see me just was something that still sits with me, because I was such a huge John fan, like, already. And then just to be, I don't know, just for him to shake my hand and say he was excited to see me play and hear me play, that just, I mean, I don't know how it really gets better than that. And success wise, now everything else is just a part of it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No doubt.
No doubt.
I think you're up. Are you up or am I up?
You up, man.
Man, all right. I was going to push this one. All right, so next up is the topic that is going to cause the most division within the group. You have been asked by the members of our Discord to shout out some of your specifically inspirations from hip hop. What artists, who you into, who you got. There's a little bit of controversy already in the Discord. They're fighting about it.
We'll go with Wu-Tang Clan.
Damn. For taking that.
We'll go with oh man, this is good. I'm like a '90s rap dude. I like the Ghetto Boys, NWA. I'm not really into much that's going on right now. I'm a Tech Nine fan. I don't know.
They were trying to
It's
put you
crazy
on.
when you get asked things that if I had time to think about it, I'd know. But then I'm kind of just trying to glance over my record collection. But
You could just randomly yell out hip hop artists anytime throughout the night and just be like, I just remember another one.
But I'm a huge hip hop fan, and I think that I think I even said in an interview that you could like almost rap all of my songs. Like I write in a almost in a hip hop way, like almost hip hop, almost punk rock stuff. Like it's just simple 3-chord stuff. But when it comes to like wordplay and stuff, I'm very influenced by like hip hop stuff. Like I think The Chronic by Dr. Dre is one of the best albums of all time, and I can listen to it at any point. And even like people hate on Eminem sometimes, but man, you can't. That dude writes some crazy stuff, man. And it's just fun to listen to. It's just crazy to hear someone. I mean, it's music. Like I don't like to be put into a box of any kind. Like I'll never sit and say I'm an Americana artist or I'm a country artist or I'm anything. If anything, I'm a singer-songwriter. If I wanted to put myself in a box, I'd say I'm a soul singer, if anything. But but yeah, it's all that kind of stuff. I think when you just kind of put yourself into like listening to one kind of music, you're really just hurting yourself on like missing out on a lot of good stuff if you just give stuff the chance like to listen to. It just depends. I think there's two kinds of like music fans. There's people who are like really into it and what's going on, who are into the art of it, and there's people who just like the sound of it. And it's kind of like you people who just want to dance to some stuff or something, who could really care less about what's being said, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's people who really are just into the art of it, and that's how I've always been. I've never, I don't know, growing up I would listen to my dad's bluegrass and old country collection, and then if he was home, my brothers weren't, I'm digging through their like metal and punk records and stuff like that. So I grew up around all kinds of stuff, and I've just always stayed that way.
So speaking of music communities, you had I believe it was an Instagram post or one of those social media sites where you showed your lifer tattoo, and you talked about how you were a songwriter for life. And somebody in our Discord, I think it was Sean, shared one of the things that you wrote that I think is the epitome of the community that we're building here, that really hit me so hard. And I love the way you put it. You said, "Find those like you through music. I promise they exist." And when I started making these videos, my goal was to create a community of like-minded folks. Although we're very different in a lot of ways, but we have this one connecting thing, which is music. And could you just tell us a little bit more about what being a part of a music community means to you and how important it is?
It's one of the most important things to me. I think music is it's like, this is what I've wanted to do since I was a kid. So, and I've just been into music for my entire life. And being like, I start a lot of my shows by saying, for the next, I always say, for the next hour and a half or 90 minutes or whatever, that we're going to leave politics and religion and all that. We're going to leave that at the door. And we're all just going to be the same and enjoy the night together for this little bit of time, because you don't get to do that every day. Like, and that's why being a part of the music community and all that is important to me, because it is the one time where you can bring people together that usually would not be in the same room, let alone like enjoying themselves together. You get to do that. And that's important, especially I think in these times and in these days. And I'm not in any way saying ignore what's going on and believe what you want, but that's not the place. My shows aren't the place for it, at least. And then I don't know, there's also things, if I'm going to be honest about music communities, that I don't like a lot of. It's like high school stuff. It just depends. There's good and there's bad. And I try to just associate with the good and stick with that. And because there's some like beautiful people doing some really beautiful things. And when you get to see it happen, it's just, I don't know. It's good. It's kind of just an escape. But I don't know. I guess that's kind of like my best answer for that, really. Mm-hmm. It's just a place to kind of get away from everything for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much for that little time. I think it's time to get to do what we do around here.
You want to give them a lightning round?
You got those lightning round questions?
I got lightning round questions. You want to do a lightning round?
Hey, I'm here, man.
All right.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
We'll do whatever.
All right. First we're going to take you through our debate topics, and we're just going to give you you just give us quick answers. If you had to pick
first thing that comes to my head,
the reigning state of songwriting of the 50 states, would you choose between Kentucky or Texas? Which would you choose between those two?
Kentucky.
Kentucky for the win. Boom.
Yeah.
I think that's a sweep.
Let's go.
That's all three of us.
Sean Chambers coming at you, bro.
Sorry, Chambers.
Kentucky's got
Sorry,
it.
LTD.
Kentucky, I'd almost take Texas out of it and say Texas and West Virginia.
Kentucky and West Virginia.
Yeah,
We
just
talked
that
about
whole
that.
area.
Yeah.
just
This whole
dominating.
area, man.
Basically, anywhere that the company has crushed people, you will find.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Texas has some good stuff going on for sure, but
All right, if you
it's
had
Texas.
to pick the 4 modern day highwaymen, who would they be? Who are your 4 picks for the modern day highwaymen?
Myself,
Boom. See,
Tyler Childers, John R. Miller, and Jeremy Pinnell.
there it
that's a great
is.
pick.
There it is.
You are not the first person on this live stream to pick yourself.
Yep.
I'll just let
Yeah,
you take a wild guess who that was.
Look, he did it, and everybody was cool. I did it, and everybody said I was an asshole.
Yeah, you got to know how good you are.
They also
That's it.
hated that I nominated Beck to be one of the highwaymen, and they said they would allow me and the highwaymen before Beck.
Man, Beck's good.
Yep. See,
Come on now.
Well,
backed
Come
up.
on now.
All right, go ahead.
That Sea Change album. And,
Come on now.
The one that he kind of said it was kind of part 2 to that.
Mhm.
I forget.
Was it
that
Morning
one that has
Phase?
like a drum. Morning Phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
no
out.
doubt, man. He's a songwriter for
Yeah,
sure.
It's good.
All
It's
right,
great.
if you had to choose one for the rest of your life, shows or festivals to attend, not to play, but to attend for yourself.
Shows.
Shows. I picked shows too, right?
Yeah,
It's like a thing. It's an
Anybody
age
with
thing.
a brain picture.
Anybody with a bad
Yeah.
back wants shows. instead of
Anybody's
festivals.
old
Eh,
and with a brain.
All right,
Playing festivals is cool, but attending.
it's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. I'm right. Look how right I'm being proven tonight. You can
Jesus.
choose yourself.
No doubt.
Arlo, did you ever own Jinkos?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you,
Or wait. Hold on. Jinkos, the jeans?
yeah, the jeans.
Like the. No,
Yeah.
fuck no.
Thank you. Hey, I knew he didn't.
No,
I
no,
knew he
no,
did.
no.
Ugh,
That was
No.
a trend.
I owe you another $10.
No, not here.
A message specifically for the Discord from the Discord. Can you show us on your chest about how high you think someone should wear their overalls? It's pretty
There's
pretty low. Pretty
yeah,
high.
yeah. You don't want them high.
I don't-
Yeah, you don't want them high.
You don't want them high.
You don't want them
All
high.
right.
No.
All right.
right.
All right. We just settled some more drama in the
There's gonna
Discord,
be
some
so
more
much
beef in the
shit
Discord.
Talking to the Discord today. I
It's
love
so
it.
good. All right. If you had to choose between the following 3, which of these would you say that you are? 1, a messenger spreading your words of hope to people in need. 2, a warrior leading people into battle against our collective demons. Or 3, a lizard person wearing human skin, sitting here on a mission to measure our cultural responses to sad music.
3.
Come on.
Now you owe me $150.
I owe him all the money.
All right. Well, we're going to die now because we've outed the overlords on the internet.
So, in one of the interviews that you did, you made the comment that you thought you had committed career suicide after the Great Depression broke up. What was that like, and what? Because I know you mentioned that you didn't feel like you would keep doing music. What was that like? And for any of the songwriters in our audience, what kind of advice would you give to folks that are a part of bands and that are starting out on this music career journey?
And what I meant by the career suicide thing was that Jeremy Pinnell, who we just saw, him and I met him when I was 16 years old, 17, something like that. And instantly our friendship was built on music. We actually were from like 2 different groups of friends that didn't like really get along and this and that. But him and I just had an appreciation for music, and him and I like talked about not being a part of the whole like dumb stuff that was going on from day one. From that day that him and I had that conversation, we started playing music together, and I just always harmonized with him. And we did that, I mean, up until 2007 or something. So I'm not good with math, but I mean, we've been playing and doing music for over like 20 years together, and we still do to this day. We'll still get together and do it. But And it just goes back to what I was saying earlier, is we never did it as a mission to like make it a career or anything, but we finally got like approached to go on some tours, and we were just young. We were young and dumb, and made some decisions that just weren't, that aren't smart to do to get you to the next spot. And it all just kind of fell apart. And I think it's partly because it's not, when the business part came into it, that's not what we were ever into or what we were trying to do. And at that point, at least. And then so we pretty much just fucked it all up. And so, music's one of those things that I kind of always thought you get like one chance at to do. So from 2007 on to 2010, 11, I didn't pick up a guitar. I didn't play anything. And then I happened to, sometime in 2010 or 2011, somewhere around there, I just wrote a couple songs. And Jeremy also, he kind of like got out of music, kind of disappeared. We both did. And I don't know. And then it all leads to where it's at now. And for him, he did this past Saturday, he did his record release show, and I got up and did some songs with him. And him and I were talking earlier in the day that just how crazy it was, or how crazy it is to have gone through everything that we went through, and to have this almost like second chance for both of us to get to live a little, get to grow a little, and figure out who we are and figure out what we need to do to make it work. It's just crazy that we're both where we are and still doing it. It's crazy enough that we're both still even alive, and for us both to be, active musicians, and all of that is just insane, really. But then the second part, what I would say to people trying to play music is just, if you're getting into it to try and be the next big thing, or you want to impress someone, or if you're doing it for cool points or whatever, then actually just don't even try. Like, just quit now, because it's not, you're just going to be disappointed. You're going to end up playing on Broadway 5 nights a week in Nashville or in some bar doing like cover stuff. I'm not saying that's bad. If that's what you want to do, then that's completely fine. But if you want to make a career out of it, you do the work that's needed, and you make the changes that are needed, and you just listen to those who are trying to guide you and get you to that next spot. And it's really, there's a lot of trust involved. You have to just trust people, and more than anything, you have to believe in yourself, make music that you would want to listen to. Like, that's it. That's what I do. I write songs that I would want to listen to. I probably listen to my stuff more than I listen to anything. That's probably the most vain thing I could ever say, but it's true. I won't, if I'm working on a song and I'm not liking it, then I'm done with it. And that's it. Just do it for yourself, because if it's good, I don't care how much money you have behind you. You can have the best team behind you. You can have all of that. If the talent just isn't there, if whatever it is, I won't even say the talent, because there's a lot of talented people that don't get to where they should be. But if the realness of it isn't there, then it's just not going to work. But if it is there, it will eventually happen. And another thing I'll say is just don't be in a rush. I'm thankful. When Diamond Western came out, I got asked so many times, like, what's it like to break out at 41 or something? And they made it sound like I had just started playing music. They don't know anything about the 20 years before that I've been doing it. And it's just stick with it. Live a little. You have to live life to write about the life that you're living. And so I don't know. I just say stick with it. Trust the people that you're with, and just do it for the right reasons. And if it works out, it's there. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest anyone try to make this their career anyway, to be honest with you. But
it's a tough place to work, man. It's a tough business to be in. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I know
we got to talk about the tattoos, though, right?
Yeah, we
We got to talk about your hand
Sure, I'm
tats,
in no
man.
rush.
All right. Well, we don't want to. I know you gave us an hour, so like if you need to go, just let us know.
Yep, whatever you want to bail, man.
I mean, we can go on a little. We can go on a little.
I don't know
longer.
if you've
I'm
been
good.
watching these streams, but Burt just leaves whenever he feels like it. Sometimes
If
I'm
that's the
not
way
even.
it goes, and I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Word.
You do
Word.
you.
That's how it goes.
We do got a couple of songs we got to get to.
All right, so my boy LTD, Sean Chambers, wants to talk about Chamberlain. Am I saying it right? Chamberlain?
I guess so.
And, you know, we noticed in our Instagram stalking your tattoos that correspond with their album title. Can you tell us a little bit about their influence on you?
The Moon, My Saddle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of their albums. They're a band that when I was young, I just got into, and they're based out of like Bloomington, Indiana, pretty much. And they all kind of went on to do other things. And but it's a band that when I was a teenager, like I would travel to go see them wherever they were playing. That was kind of close because they didn't play a lot. And they're a band that I think should get a lot more credit than they do when it comes to like alt country stuff or like Lucero and bands like that. They were doing it long before any of those bands were, and they just recently got back together and did a new album. And it's kind of crazy because they're a band that changed my life completely and kind of changed the course of how I was going to approach music. And now, like I'm playing with them on my birthday in Indiana, in Indianapolis, and I'm good friends with them now. And they're still a big influence. I think he's one of the best writers. David Moore, who's their singer, is one of the best lyricists I've ever came across. And they're just super nice guys. And yeah, they're a big influence on me. Still are. They were back then, and they are still today. And now to be playing shows with them is just kind of crazy to me. It's kind of crazy that I'm meeting, like they were heroes to me in the music world.
Right.
And now these people that are heroes are now peers, and it's crazy how the world works out sometimes.
That's awesome, man. To say that this was a special night would be the understatement of the century. Thank you so much, man.
I hope you guys know though, really, and really understand that what you guys are doing for the music community, especially for people like Logan and Cole and like the young guys that are coming up. And I mean, it's really something, man. So don't sell yourselves short on what you're doing. You're doing a whole lot for these guys coming up, and that's what I love. I want to help the people that are coming under me, and I mean, it means the world. Like when I saw you guys breaking down like videos of mine, it was like the first thing that I really saw that kind of meant something to me, that was like a real thing, and just was real about it all. I don't know. There's
I'm
a lot
not
of
crying on
there's a
camera.
lot-
I'm not crying on
This dude's getting beer run all of a sudden. Beer run all of a sudden. Man, we decided a while back, we made some conscious decisions about the type of stuff we were going to have our face on. And we had some really hard and we continue to have real conversations about the effects of things like popularity or celebrity or our desire to be a certain thing or be important. And we continue to have these conversations about how we love this community so much. And yeah, we love music, but this music has for some reason attracted just some incredible folks.
Yeah.
Quality of the music. Yep.
I honestly think that we're in a time right now that will be remembered far beyond our lives, that are bringing people from all different areas together. I do believe that we're part of a scene, or whatever you want to call it, something that is going to be, that will be remembered. It's at least by some. I mean, it's a special thing that we can all kind of just connect with what we're doing and just be honest and be real with each other, and that's it. Like I'm happy that this is all happening for me in this time period, and there's people like you guys that are doing this, and I mean, really, it is something special that you guys are doing, and So thank you for that. Like, it's just as much of an honor for me to be here for that it is for you guys, for me to be here for you. So, I mean, love goes both ways, for real.
Thanks, man.
I'm quitting my job tomorrow. Quitting.
So every time,
Turning it in.
Send me that therapist bill first.
yeah. Let's get that paid off first,
Dude, thank you so much. And I'm sure this is very similar to you creating your music business. Whenever we're trying to do this thing, which is maybe a little bit different than other people are doing, and to hear somebody that we respect as much as we respect you saying kind words like that, I can't express how much that means. And it would be so amazing if we could build a platform to where we could really shine the light on amazing people and lift up people that, as a musician, it's hard out there. It's hard to get your name out there. And so
I think that's what you guys are already doing.
that's
And
my
you're
dream.
already on your way to it. You're
Yeah.
already on your way to it, really, man. So if that's what the goal is, then you're well on your way to it.
Well, you're coming to Jackson, Mississippi here in November.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I'm so excited to meet you in person.
Do you think that you could give me some free tickets to the show now that we know each other, now that we're friends, now that we're buddies?
I
Is that
definitely got
possibility?
Burt covered. I think my list might be full.
This is ridiculous. Every time.
he always talks shit about how my name's on the channel and he never gets anything that's worth a damn.
But I did put Burt +1, so it's up to
He
him.
did. My wife is definitely coming. So,
Oh, sorry.
Did I just lose my +1?
well, dude, we're gonna let you.
You're in.
We're gonna let you go, man. We are massive
Can't wait to see
fans.
you guys down there, man.
We're massive fans of
so
what
am
you
I.
do.
And so am I. Big
Your
fans of what you
music
guys
has
do, man.
like deeply impacted my life, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. So thank you for that. Good luck. And your manager wanted me to mention the tour where you got coming up soon. Here, let me actually pull it up. Is it on your website?
Pull it up. Probably.
Maybe.
Let them take care of all that.
Yeah, I got it right here. Here we go.
We're going all over the place. Starting
So,
in November.
Lord have mercy. Dude, you're
Man.
coming to Memphis in early November, too. That's not too far away.
So what?
And I will say too that we have some pretty big announcements coming this week.
Let's go.
We're actually putting out all of our tour support on for which dates, and then
Nice.
some other big things coming up.
How big is your band
So,
for this tour? How many pieces?
This band's gonna be 6, I think.
What are you
I'm gonna
using?
go out with some
6.
going out with new people
Mhm.
this time.
So what
and,
what elements are you putting in there?
We have let's see, a couple guitar players, pedal steel. Chad's always with me,
Mhm.
my pedal steel player.
Oh,
And,
he's a killer. He is a killer.
He's great. I mean, that guy's what kind of turned it around for me on certain things, on like really moving forward and just being a pro. That dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Taking out a band from here with me called Frontier Folk Nebraska, and they're going to back me up on the tour. And so we're like a 6-piece for this one.
Nice.
It's pretty much Crazy Horse behind me. So it's going to be a rock show.
Yeah, man. Well,
dig it.
dude, we can't wait to see you in November. Good
Yeah,
luck for the rest of
can't
the
wait to-
tour,
yeah.
buddy. And if you ever want to come hang out with us again, you are more than welcome to anytime.
Yeah. Always down, man. I really thank you again. It means the world to me.
All right, buddy.
Good to see you, bro.
Take
All
it
right,
easy,
you guys be
man.
good. See you next time.
All right, see you, bud.
Yep. See ya.